What if I told you that you could book a first-class flight to Hawaii for a fraction of the points most people spend? In this video, I'll reveal how I did it for only 25,000 points and how you can too. Whether you're tired of paying crazy cash prices or wasting points on bad deals, this strategy will help you get the best value. By the end, you'll learn my method, which could double your points value versus paying entirely with points. This whole process involves 5 simple steps, and I'll be going through with you every single step so that you too could fly in luxury without breaking the bank. To give context, I recently flew first class on Hawaiian Airlines from LAX to Honolulu using this exact method that I'll be going over with you today. Specifically, I flew on the new first class Leihoku suites, which gives you a private room on your way to Hawaii. On that seat, you get unlimited drinks, snacks, an entree, and dessert. The seat itself comes with a private door, an 18-inch entertainment system, and of course a lay flat seat. Personally, I think this is the most luxurious way to fly to Hawaii right now, and I can't wait to show you how to do it with a good deal. I do want to note that while today's method works for these first class suites, it will also apply to Hawaiian Airlines normal or regular business class seats. Let's start with the first step, which is to find the flight that you want. This is where you would navigate to the Hawaiian Airlines website, enter in your departing airport, arrival airport, dates, and then you start searching. For the first class suite seats, you're going to have to look for a specific flight path and aircraft in order to snag it up. As of right now, in 2024, the first class Leihoku suites are only available on flights between Honolulu and Los Angeles and Honolulu and Phoenix. So if you wanted to get the same exact seats that I experienced, you're going to have to fly out of one of those airports that I just mentioned. However, just remember that my method will work on these select flights, but also with the more common normal business class Hawaiian Airlines flights as well. So even if you can't make it to one of those airports, you could still get the best deal available on the other Hawaiian Airlines business class flights as well. The good news is that in 2025, Hawaiian Airlines is releasing 3 more of these aircraft throughout the year, which means the first class suites will be available on more routes within the United States and eventually internationally. As you are scrolling through the flights on the dates that you are looking at, the number one way to determine if your flights will have the first class suites or the normal business class seats is to check the aircraft. The first class suites will only be available on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. All other aircraft will be the normal business class seats. You would just need to click on the flight details button and you can see at the top what aircraft that flight uses. And for the first class suites, you could also see here on the bottom right under first class that it mentions that it is a suite. Whereas on the normal business class flights, under the flight details, you will see that the aircraft is not a Boeing 787. And under the first class category, you'll see that it doesn't mention a suite at all. If you wanted even further confirmation, go ahead and check the seat maps as well. The first class suites will have a seat configuration of 1, 2, and 1, whereas the normal business class seats will have a seat configuration of 2, 2, 2. Now that you found a general idea of which flights you want to choose, I want to warn you, don't get married with that exact flight just yet, because the next step is that we're going to have to call a Hawaiian Airlines representative to see if the deal is available for that specific flight that you want. In step number 2, you're going to call this number on screen right here and follow the automated messages to talk to a human representative about booking a flight. Unfortunately, I forgot to record my exact conversation for this step, but I did record my conversation with the representative for a following step later in the video. However, during this initial conversation, here is exactly what you need to say to the representative. You're going to ask them to look at the flights that you just looked up and see if there are upgrades available via points and how much that it's going to cost. Because this whole strategy, which I'll go into depth right after this, is you're going to be paying for an economy seat in cash and use your points to upgrade that economy seat to first or business class. But you're going to want to listen closely to see how much that upgrade is going to cost you, because that is going to determine if you're getting a great value or little value at all. Most of the time, that representative is going to answer with one of the following 4 things. Number 1, there are no upgrades available. Number 2, there are upgrades available for 50,000 miles. Number 3, there are upgrades available for 25,000 miles. And number 4, there are upgrades available for some price greater than 50,000 miles. And what we are looking for is that there are upgrades available for 25,000 miles, because this is going to be one of the best deals that you're going to get. Although if they do say there is an upgrade for 50,000 miles, this could be a very viable option as well, which you could still get decent value from, as I'll show later. So the worst thing that they could say is that there are no upgrades available, or that there are upgrades available but they cost more than 50,000 miles, because usually you won't get great value from your points from prices like that. Now you might be wondering, what if that 50,000 mile or 25,000 mile upgrade isn't available for the flight that you want to do? Well, the first thing you could do is to ask the representative to kindly look if there are any other 50,000 or 25,000 amount upgrades for other flights on that same day. Sure, you might not get the exact flight that you intended to book, but at least you'll be flying in and out on the same day, and hopefully your schedule will allow for that. Or if that doesn't work out either, what you could do as a last resort is you could ask them to check dates before or after the original intended date that you requested them to look for. As an example, if you're trying to find a flight leaving on Friday night and they said there are no upgrades available at the prices you wanted, the next step is to ask if there are any other flights available on Friday, in the morning, afternoon, etc. And if that doesn't work out, then I would then ask them, okay, are there flights available on Thursday, or maybe even Wednesday, or perhaps Saturday or Sunday? Yes, unfortunately, flexibility is your best friend here. For those of you who can adjust your schedule slightly, then this strategy will work the best for you. Hopefully you find a flight that has an upgrade available, because once you do, and once you confirm the upgrade availability, you can then move on to the third step. Step number 3 is for you to purchase the economy flights, and there's 2 ways to do that. The first way is, since you're already on the phone with the Hawaiian Airlines representative, you could book the economy flight with the upgrade available right then and there. However, there is an over-the-phone booking fee of, I believe, $25. So although it might be convenient, I wouldn't recommend this option, and I would do this second option instead. The second option is to just book that economy flight like how you normally would a normal flight. You just go to the Hawaiian Airlines website, find the flight you want, and purchase it online. Of course, you want to be extra careful that you are double checking that you're booking the same economy flight that you found upgrade availability on. Personally, when I'm on the phone with the representative, I'm writing down all the different flight options that they have upgrades available for, and what the price is for each one. That way I could visualize and kind of organize and plan out which flights to go after. Because unfortunately, the Hawaiian Airlines website does not show you the upgrade availability and the points that it will cost. You have to call them to find that out. After booking that economy seat, we'll move on to the next step, which is to transfer your points. As of right now, there are 3 ways to book that upgrade using miles. The first way is if you fly with Hawaiian Airlines a bunch, you probably already have some miles. So you could use those that are already in your account. Or if you don't have miles in your account, the other option is to apply for a Hawaiian Airlines credit card and get the sign-up bonuses, or use that credit card to rack up miles, and then you'll have miles to pay for that upgrade. But the third and final and best way is to use your American Express credit card points. Hawaiian Airlines is a travel transfer partner of American Express, which means you could transfer your Amex points at a 1-to-1 ratio to your Hawaiian Airlines account. Although frequently throughout the year, and pretty much every year, Amex has transfer bonuses for their travel partners, and Hawaiian Airlines tends to get that bonus often. So the best case scenario is that at the time of you looking or booking this flight, there's a transfer bonus going on for Hawaiian Airlines with American Express. One warning about this whole travel transfer bonus thing though, is that if you aren't 1000% certain that you're going to use those Hawaiian Airline miles, don't transfer your Amex points to Hawaiian Airlines just because the bonus is going on. You're not missing out on this bonus. It happens very frequently, so you'll get another chance in the future. Your credit card points are the most valuable when they're just that, in their credit card form. That flexibility is where all of the value from your credit card points come from, so you don't want to send them or transfer them to a travel transfer partner and have them sit in that account without actually using them yet or immediately. To transfer your American Express points to Hawaiian Airlines, just go to your American Express account. Make sure you link your Hawaiian Airlines account, and then you would go ahead and transfer the needed points available to make that upgrade purchase. Yes, American Express does charge a small fee for transferring points, which isn't the greatest thing out there. It's actually not that great. Unfortunately, that's just something we have to deal with though. Once you submit the transfer, it should take 5 to 15 minutes for your Amex points to show up in your Hawaiian Airlines account. I usually go to my Hawaiian Airlines account and I refresh it every minute or so because yeah, it doesn't come instantly, it doesn't come immediately, so don't worry, not time to panic just yet. And then once I confirm that the miles are in my account, I move on to the fifth and final step. Finally, all that's left to do is to call the same Hawaiian Airlines phone number that you called earlier, and we're gonna go ahead and confirm and pay for that upgrade. And this is what that conversation should look like. And sorry, before we go through the questions, just to confirm, it's the upgrade amount is still $25,000, or sorry, 25,000 points.
Let me check if that's still available. Yes, it's still available.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do the security questions, please.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so we successfully passed the security questions and I'm on it for upgrading using mileage points, okay?
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Just bear with me, I'm still on it.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for patiently waiting too. So this is confirmed, upgraded. So for the seats, we have two preferences for the first class.
Not too many people talk about this, but I did want to share a small tip about when you're flying to Hawaii. It doesn't matter what airline you're on or what seat on an airplane you're on, it just has to be a flight between Hawaii and the United States. The tip is on the flights going to Hawaii, so from the United States to Hawaii, if you want to see the islands as you approach them, sit on the right side of the airplane. And if you're flying from Hawaii back to the United States and you want to see the islands as you fly away from paradise, sit on the left side of the airplane. Anyway, congratulations on booking your first class or business class flights, but before I end this video, I have a few important notes to bring up that are helpful for you to know. As you just saw, this method was kind of a hybrid method where you used a bunch of cash and points in order to get that first class flight. However, of course, if you wanted to use as little cash as possible, paying for the flights entirely with your points or miles is still an okay option to do. But I want to quickly show you how using this hybrid option, even though you're paying more cash, could double the value of your credit card points and why you should still consider it. Using the actual flight that I took as the example, which is one of the first class suites, the cash price at that time was $981. And to pay for that flight entirely in points, it was going to cost me 80,000 miles. So to calculate the cent per point value, we would take the cash price, $981, minus the fees associated with paying with points, which in this case was $6. But also I have to keep in mind the $5 I had to spend to transfer my Amex points to one of the airlines, or in this case to Hawaiian Airlines. So you then divide that number by the amount of points it would take to pay for that flight in entirely, which is 80,000. And you would multiply that by 100, which then gives you a cent per point value of 1.22. Which if you're someone who didn't want to spend cash but still wanted to fly first class, then a cent per point value of 1.22 is okay. It's not the best, and you could definitely do better, as you'll see. But if you have a lot of Amex points to spend, and then, this is a great, okay, or sorry, not great, but this is an okay value. But something interesting happens if you're able to find a sweet spot for the upgrade with points option. Luckily, I found this sweet spot, and this flight when it was available for a 25,000 mile upgrade, and this is what the calculation would look like then. I would take the cash price of the first class flight, $981, subtract the cash price that I paid for the economy seat, which was $334. And then there was no fee through Hawaiian Airlines to use my points for this upgrade, but I still have to minus or subtract the $5 from the Amex to Hawaiian Airlines fee. I would then divide that number by the amount of points or miles I had to use to upgrade, which was 25,000. This then gave me a cent per point value of 2.67, which means I'm more than doubling the value of my points by using this hybrid cash and point option as opposed to just paying entirely with points. To my understanding, that's how you would calculate the cent per point value of buying the economy seat first and then upgrading using points. Feel free to share if there's a better way to calculate that. And even if that flight had a 50,000 mile upgrade option as opposed to the 25,000 one that I ended up getting, I would still get a cent per point value of 1.28, which is still slightly higher than using points entirely. I hope you learned something new today and that you're able to go find this great deal yourself as well. And remember to go ahead and watch the video that I uploaded showing you the exact flight that we just talked about so you can see what it's like to fly first class on Hawaiian Airlines, which I think is the best way to fly to Hawaii from the United States. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shoots.